Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, a tale of two consultants. No, not the office space kind of consultants. Wait, what? These are definitely the office space kind of consultants. Universal Computer Troubleshooting Step 3. Old lady conquers the modern smartphone for the first time. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. A tale of two consultants. No, not the office space kind of consultants. Wait, what? These are definitely the office space kind of consultants. Over the past month, our company decided to shake things up and bring in a consulting firm to help bring efficiency to the next level. At first, everyone was very wary that this would be a resume-generating event. However, consulting companies sent out a memo to all employees. They stated that their goal is not to synergize the core values with productivity paradigm shifts. Basically, this memo called out all of the BS terms that companies like to use and made fun of them. They stated their core goal was to look at our PNP and work out how to deal with them. When it came to our turn for the consultants, at first they were very helpful. They mentioned that we were taking a few unnecessary steps in fixing common issues. For instance, when Outlook refuses to take the correct password on local desktop, you do not have to rebuild Outlook profile every time. A time save would be hitting other user and having the user do a full login again, instead of rebuilding the Outlook profile. Or in the case of printers, if the IP address changes on the printer, you do not always have to reinstall it. Can simply go to printer properties and change the port. All of these were things that I knew and thought my team knew, but that was not the case. I had lapsed in getting KB articles out to the team for these, and people were fixing issues using methods that took longer. I thought this was the end of it. Last Monday, I come into the office and am pulled into the conference room with the head of IT, EVP of IT, and VP of networking. These consultants were done playing good cop and were auditing the tickets and calls. At first they ran through a ton of minor issues and ignoring them as they went on until they noticed a trend amongst some of my golden employees. The ones I refused to let go without a damn good reason. $C1 equals consultant 1 or Bob. $C2 equals consultant 2 or Bob. $VPN equals VP of networking or Kara Thrace. $HIT equals head of IT or William Adama. $Me equals Ghoul Dukat. $FBit equals Obi-Wan Kenobi. So the first one they sent my way was a simple one. $C1, we have pulled up a few glaring examples here, and we wanted your input. $Me takes a look at the ticket in question, so the user wanted us to open corrupted PDF files for them and send them back. We informed the user that the files were corrupted and closed the ticket. $C2, but it did not stay closed. $Me right, because the manager and the LO in this ticket had an email conversation with each other while still CCing IT and reopening the ticket over and over again. $C1, so you are saying it was not the tech's fault for being unable to keep the ticket closed? $Me, my leg stops shaking, my breath goes still, my eyes lock in on C1 and C2, and I open my mouth to speak. $Hit, you do not work in our environment on the day-to-day, and have no real grasp of the way things operate. From outsider's perspective, this ticket looks bad. But that is why we are here as managers, to look at this and show you, the outside consultant, why this is perfectly acceptable. Sideways glance at me and what I can only assume was a stop it glare. $VPN, how many more tickets do you have like that? $C2, we pulled out 12 tickets like that where the tech was unable to keep the ticket closed. The room goes silent. $Me, my eyes lock in and I exhale slowly. $VPN, oblivious, then skip over those. They are a waste of our time. The consultants pulled 4 tickets to the top. $C1, here is one that counts. Name of tech, helped, user, out on March 5, 6, 7, 12, and 22nd on what looks like an Outlook issue. $C2 ticket came in on the 4th at right before midnight and got picked up first thing as the tech came in. That is normal. The tech called the user and got voicemail leaving a message. The user called back 2 hours later and the tech was able to figure out the issue was with her account and not email. An old iPad had her account on it and kept locking her account from automated bad password tries. He takes a drink of water. $C2 the next day the user responded saying that she only turned the old iPad on for a second and it auto-locked her again. She wanted assistance removing the account from the iPad so it never happened again. $C1 this was the first instance of the tech failing to keep the ticket closed. $me my hands tighten in a very Gendo Ikari-like pose. $C2 the tech cleared the account off the iPad remotely and unlocked the account again, letting the user know that her password was set to expire in 16 days. The user said she would change it herself. The next day her manager replied to the ticket opening it again. That was the second instance of the tech failing to keep the ticket closed, by the way. Now the manager was just thanking the tech for the help, so we won't count that one. However, it does help us establish a pattern. A message over link came in from $hit and $fbit. The leash has come off. I replied with, I will let the man finish first. $C2 then on the 12th the user replied back stating it was happening again. The tech split the ticket off as it was a separate issue. Appears to have been a simple Citrix login issue as logging out and back and fixed it, and that is fine. Look, the tech is competent enough, he just has a huge issue with a failure to keep his tickets closed. $me so. $C2 wait, there is one more for this ticket. On the 22nd of March the user reopened the ticket stating she forgot to change her password and needed help. By the time the tech got to it she had already called the hotline and got it taken care of with another tech. That sounds normal. However, there is a clear progression here of a failure to maintain the tech's ticket queue. There is a clear line of failure from start to finish of being able to keep this ticket closed. $hit so if I am understanding you correctly, the issue you want us to address is randomly reopening tickets on the user end? $C1 no. This is a clear failure to keep the tickets closed. Takes off his glasses, you have a real problem with techs failing to keep their tickets closed. $me so that phrase you just used. Failure to keep tickets closed. It is a useless metric to track. You understand that, right? $C2 I fail to see. $me a rhetorical question when it's posed? I wasn't asking. I was telling you. In the form of a question. You see, you both know that this is a useless metric to track. You know this. You had to dig to the bottom of the barrel to find a metric to try and let people go. I take a drink of water and look around the room. $hit is hiding a smile, $fbit is smirking on the side of his mouth, and $VPN has a huge grin on her face hidden behind her hands. $me if you had come to me directly with honest intentions I would have assisted you. I have 4 contractors out there who show up late every day, who have been given warning after warning, and one who I am going to let go no matter what when he gets in cause he cussed out a customer. That would have been 5 for your sacrificial chamber and 5 less headaches I have to deal with. Instead, I am going to give the other 4 a second chance. $C1 to fbit he is throwing out some wild accusations here, and I am formally asking you what you wish to do about this. $fbit I stand behind $me's decision and agree that you have picked a metric that will not produce favorable results for the company. I feel like I have gained some very valuable information from this meeting. Looks to me anything you wish to say regarding this? $me no, I think you covered it pretty well. I just wanted to add again that we have contractors who are on the final straw. Instead you went over experienced employees with tenure and experience. We keep the low-hanging fruit for a reason if you catch my meaning. $C1 Just so you know, our report will go to the CEO and CIO about this. I will personally recommend that the metric of failing to keep tickets closed be tracked and personally recommend a shakeup of the management staff. $Me points to the camera in the corner. Okay. I will recommend he watch the video while reading your report. The consultants filed out of the room and quickly left the building. $VPN What a bunch of. I will leave the story to let off there. There was zero fallout from this. The CEO did not care at all, as apparently my department was not the only department to tell off their consultants. The CIO laughed and said he owed me lunch for the laughs I gave him from the video, and I legitimately gave the 4 consecutively late people a final chance. The guy who cussed out a customer was not even let into the building. He was fired from the front door. Universal Computer Troubleshooting Step 3. In the early 2000s, I worked for a small telecom company. I managed servers and such, but also served as a point of escalation for the desktop support techs. My office was a small conference room, so techs would routinely bring the malfunctioning computer into my office for some help. One tech brought over a user's laptop because the chap had called in a problem with the display. She was trying to update the device driver but couldn't get to the internet. I walked her through a few things, then asked her to open a command prompt and ping. She glared at me, huffed, and, with a rather condescending tone, told me, "I need you to focus here. He doesn't need to use this ping thing. I need to get on the internet to download a driver. Can you help me or not?" Which? Yeah. Unfortunately, not wasn't an option. I told her to reboot. This was way away before computers managed hot docking/undocking well, and she was astonished that it all magically started working again. How exactly someone managed to work in desktop support for years without developing their own list, like 1 retry, 2 restart app, 3 reboot to run through on every computer problem ever? I have no idea. Old lady conquers the modern smartphone for the first time. So I was working the cash register the other day. I work in a really small store, so we don't get a lot of customers, when a sweet old lady approached me staring at her phone in confusion. "Oh, excuse me, I've just missed a call from my husband and I don't know how to call him back. Do you mind showing me how?" There was no one in the store, so of course I said yes. "Me, sure." Cue 10 minutes of me explaining how to view missed calls and return them to no avail. We got there eventually though. She went outside for a few minutes and came back in with such a proud look on her face that she'd conquered technology, and spent her whole time in the store thanking me profusely for the help. Not the biggest win, but it really cheered me up and made the best out of a really long and tiring day.